Okay. Hello and welcome in, everyone. My name is Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we're going to be working on the French Cleat wall system. However, though, first, heads up. I am going to be... Today's big focus is really taking it easy. I'm not trying to finish the project. We're really just going to be working on the project. You need to crush your dust for the base, pack it down with a machine thingy. Oh, you're talking about like a tamper, Mr. Spock, for like an actual like retaining wall. We're actually not building that type of wall. We're actually building a thing that attaches to a wall that we already have. So, and the thumbnail for this is pegboard, which is a very traditional, like you can like have like the wire things, and then you can mount your tools, all that sort of stuff. But pegboard has limitations, mostly weight, as I also found out shortly before stream. So I am wanting to go to a French cleat wall system, which involves using what are called French cleats, but they're actually just cleats. And basically what they are is you take a piece of wood, you cut a 45-degree angle in it, and then one piece nests on the other, and then it rests into the wall. So it's a thing that a lot of like woodworking people on the YouTubes have and stuff. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's actually try making a wall system fascinating. But yeah, but today's also going to be like a very easygoing day, not trying to be like too ambitious. It's Saturday. And then as you also mentioned earlier, like, well, beer, but because we're going to be using table saw, I just came here to hate on the French. Well, welcome in, Haggle. Honestly, personally, I'm perfectly okay with people hating on the French. I am of no particularly strong opinion. My bestie hates the French, though. But yeah, I have no strong opinions when it comes to the French. So yeah. So I have already cut 2 pieces of plywood because I'm going to be building 2 sections of wall. Bright Eyes is being a pain in the window. Ooh, okay. Bright Eyes, you better simmer down, or else Mr. Spock's going to really give you a talking toos. Oh dear. But yeah. So we've got ourselves the Eastern Red Cedar Lumbers. I have... Who's Bright Eyes? Bright Eyes is one of Mr. Spock's chickens. Is it just lots of bow? It's probably lots of bow, but that's fine. But yeah, so first step is going to be dimensioning these bad boys because, well, we have a couple pieces of lumber here, and we have to get them dimensioned down. Then we have to make our cleats, and hopefully towards the end of today, we can work on actually making a holder, an actual thing that will fit into the French cleat wall system. I'll be making 2 of these walls. Oh, I thought he was making some clever riddle. Nope. Nope, that's just Mr. Spock talking about the things that usually happens to Mr. Spock. So, honestly, I'm just going to get into this and start making saw noises because, well, I like making saw noises. And also, I'd rather get the saw stuff done first, because once I get to the saw stuff done, then that means I can actually start thinking about, well, you know, beer. Uh-oh. Well, I kind of messed that up. Let's try again. Or is it bogging out on the knot? What's going on? Am I holding this wrong? I might be holding that wrong. Oh. That's what it is. Okay, I know what my issue is. One of my issues with the saw is this blade guard will catch. And it's really bad about it, too. So I need to change my depth adjustment. Because usually that's the fix. Is changing the depth adjustment, which happens here. So the lever you see, that's the depth adjustment lever. And then the scale on the inside, that should help. And that was the issue. Sounds like bad design. I thought Makita was good. It's good, but you also have to like adjust it. You have to, in a way, essentially, you kind of have to babysit it. I mean, Makita is a good brand. Monty Python has a skit about the French. It revolves around the French only washing their necks circa 1820s and French balloon science stuff. Oh yeah, the French did love their balloons. Gosh, what was the... I think it was making fun of the French and Monty Python for the Holy Grail when they did the whole... Your mom reeks of elderberries. So that's going to be our first piece there. Yeet. And let's get lined up. And there we go. Next piece. Well, first piece. English did not like the French. Well, yes. I saw a video of this French guy playing piano outside. Who the hell holds a piano outside? French. Well, yeah, those people. So yeah. But yeah, I'm also using cedar for the actual cleats because I have tons of it. Normally when most people are building like these wall systems, they usually use plywood because guess what? Plywood is cheap. And most people like cheap. But for Sugi, cedar is cheap. So Sugi uses the cheap cedar. Brandon, speaking of holding a piano outside, keep in mind you're talking to a streamer who holds a computer outside. So he can stream outside. Yeah, stealing all the good wood and mail me some, Sugi. Yeah. Actually, wait a second. What? Okay, now I have the idea of making a wood crate to ship wood. And that seems very funny to me for some reason. The idea of having a wood crate to ship wood. But yeah. So we are actually not having a lot of scraps here today, which is nice. I was actually originally it would work, but is it efficient is the question. That wood is creating a Bavarian response. Oh dear. So originally, when I was envisioning this, I was expecting the long wall to be 4 feet, so I could get 2 cleats out of one 8-foot board. I measured the wall today, and my measurement said what I needed to make was going to be 5.5 feet, and then it's like, oh, well, I had plans to use up a lot of scraps for the small wall, and now I can't do that. But it's fine because, well, not creating a lot of offcuts is also nice. So. Being reasonably efficient with wood is something I try somewhat to be good at. I'm not super great at it, but I think I do all right. You can also do a whole bunch of like scrap wood projects with like a French cleat wall system, which is another reason why I'm very interested in trying it out. Ooh, yeah, there's you. That board's going to be very interesting. It would work if you were shipping something with it, like a motorcycle. Oh man, I'm thinking of just taking wood, just like boards. Like, just get yourself a whole bunch of boards, and just wrap them in plastic wrap and throw a shipping label on that. And that being the quote-unquote most efficient way to do it. A 2-stroke motorcycle. Oh, our motorcycle motivated friend. The funniest way would be to ship a bunch of crates. Oh man, the shipping company people would be so angry about that. But that would be funny. That would be funny. Especially if they worked for the military, or if they had worked for the military, because then it could be like, because you know how the military has that joke of like, okay, dig a hole, now fill the hole in. It can just be like that, but with shipping crates. Because that would be funny. That would be very funny to me. Not sure if I would want to pay that much money in shipping, though. Because shipping is both a volume and a weight thing. And I think it's more efficient to go for weight. Like if you wanted to be able to ship like a lot of stuff. You can put a lot of stuff in a small space, it's more efficient. Stay. Chucks, there was one time when I worked at UPS, there was a box going down the conveyor belt. And it was a small box. It was like really small box. Like yay big size box. And it was like, oh look, it's a cute little box. Grabs the box. Yeah, the box was over 40 pounds because it was full of bearings. Oh. And bump the camera. I think that's fine. But yeah, it was just like this really tiny box, but it was just full of bearings and like freakishly heavy. Maybe just tell them to tether the crates to the sides of the boats in the delivering section. The sides of what boats? Where are we going? What island are we going to? Are we delivering these crates? To Nova Scotia? Wait, is Nova Scotia an island? I'll trade a kidney for a Yamaha RD 125 motor. You said shipping, right? I was talking about shipping. Mr. Spock's talking about motors. I was talking about my time in UPS and the weird things that we would see. I mean, honestly, the funniest weird thing is like the crates of bull semen. Like a crate of bull semen was easily the funniest thing I saw in my times of shipping parcels through the United Parcel Service. Nova Scotia is not an island. It's got to be a peninsula, because I know most of it is surrounded by water. Because Nova Scotia is also home to that bay. I don't know which bay it is, but I know there's a bay around that area of Canada where the tides can change by like up to 50 feet in a single tidal cycle, which seems cool. Highest tides in the world, Burncoat. Ooh, good to know. I love sick-ass high tides. Come this way. Two big boards. Whoa. Pick you. Now, we have an issue with our next fellers. Issue with the next fellers is this guy. I gotta cut that out. The other side reasonably good. I just gotta scrap this board. I think this board needs to be scrapped. Well, not good for today's project. Where can I... Oh dear. It's all fun and games until the bull semen starts leaking. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, you gotta be real careful when that bull semen starts like getting places and places where you don't want it. Granted, I will also say there was one time there was a drum of like, it was like 100 pounds of vanilla essence. It smelled amazing, incredible, beautiful. It was wonderful. And that was probably like the best thing I smelled. Chicken stir fry tonight, third day for roast chicken. Well, why only do 3 days? Like just like keep the good times rolling, you know? Do they put it on ice? I mean, pig semen is cheaper, so they must be using it for its genetic code. Actually, no. Bull semen is used to make lady cows pregnant. For, like, breeding purposes. Usually a lot... My world is mostly... Well, in my, like, area... Well, where I live... It's mostly like horse semen gets collected, but like they don't chill it. Yes, they do chill it, but it's like, it's interesting because it's like this big self-contained, like big plastic container. Like it's like 3 feet tall. Like it's a pretty big thing, but it's a very distinct canister. So whenever like us workers would see those canisters, oh, because of the way the canister is shaped, we know it's bull semen. Like, we can tell from like a way away. Does that one smell too? No, there's no smell to it because it's all sealed. Because I'm pretty sure there is like ice or like thermal packs or something that it's being shipped with to preserve it. I just don't know how they pack it, because where I worked was basically like, it's on one place going to another place. I just saw a canister, and I was told the canister contained bull semen. Now, there is a lot of horse semen activities that happen around here in, like, you know, Kentucky. Because, hey, if your horse wins the Kentucky Derby or other, like, big races, boy, oh boy, do those breeders sure want that horse's jizz to make the best horses ever. Like, shucks, like, Secretariat, the last Triple Crown winner, got... Yeah, that horse got to do a whole bunch of breeding. A lot of breeding. Granted, I also saw a thing where some people did some like research. Well, actually, apparently Secretariat had the largest heart of any horse ever, which is probably the reason why it was such a kick butt horse. Do you think there's a horse corn to put horses in the mood? I don't know. I actually don't know. I've heard stories of some of that stuff. I have done some work in horse barns. Granted, the work I was doing in the horse barns was like I was there to do HVAC work, not being an actual like employee of the business. So I don't think I heard my coworkers talking about how when they went there once, they went there and saw those activities. There was, however, though, a time when I went to the Cincinnati Zoo as a student in college. And me and my class, the class was conservation biology. So we kind of get to get a behind the scenes look at some of the like conservation work that the zoo was doing, which was really cool. We got granted, it's just honestly like the behind the scenes parts of zoos are like the coolest part of zoos, even though the standard parts of zoos are cool too. But when you go behind the scenes, it's like even better. And there was like one elevator for this one area, and it was taking a while and it was like a small elevator, and it was taking a while to get the class through the elevator. So our tour guide was like, what's something I can do to entertain these college kids while this elevator like shuttles kids out of the out of this area? And she's like, oh, I know. And then she runs to this back room and then comes out carrying this long cylindrical PVC rod, long as being about like 4 feet long, with 2 wires sticking out. Then there's like a 45-degree bend, and then there's like there's like this like kind of bulbous head on it with 4 copper like wires on it. And she comes out and is like, this is the rhinoceros ejaculator. So they have a black rhino conservation program, and they have a black rhino at the zoo. So to collect black rhino semen, they will stick the ejaculator into the rectum of the rhino, and then they will apply an electric shock to the ejaculator, which stimulates the black rhino's prostate and gets the rhino excited, and that's how they collect the jizz for a black rhino. So, and she passed it around, and like all of us like college students got to like ooh and awe at it. So, and I got to walk away from that experience being like, I've gotten to hold a rhinoceros ejaculator, which is one of the few like cool things I can say I've done in my life. But it was also just like really cool seeing like all the like conservation work being done there. And then it's also like, hey, look, it's a rhino sex toy. It's really fun. Went to the slaughterhouse one trip. That day they did pigs. Ooh, that's gotta be fun, brutal. Granted, chickens at another plant. Yeah, chickens are not fun. Do a little over a chicken a second. Yeah. There's a Yomo joke somewhere in there. Yeah. Oi, oi. Wow. Oh. Bored. And unfortunately, this is not the last board. I actually have to go fetch one because of... Wow, that thing just loves the mosey around. But that's fine. There's a big battery to grab it. Grab it with. Grab it with. Okay. Come on out. Slides over. I need to get a slow out of my hand. Boy, don't be acting up. Wanting to have a good day. Good Saturday. Oh. I was confused. I thought it was a stone wall. Nope, nope. We're not building a stone wall. We are building a wall storage organizing system that somehow the French got named after themselves. Sort of like their French drains. Granted, there's actually a lot of architectural things that got named after the French. Or French fries, yeah. Dang, French getting so many things named after themselves. Granted, also the French people is, well, there's also just a lot of French people. No, France is a big country. But America is bigger. Bigger, and we have more guns. That's what we had to put in the X's house to prevent the basement leak. Ooh. Oh yeah, French drain. Yeah. Pretty sure French bread is made in France, though. Yeah. Granted, I will say that, like, France has great bread. France does bread good. Did you know Italian dressing isn't Italian? That seems to check out. Granted, that doesn't really, like, hurt or harm me in any way because I'm pretty anti-dressing. As far as when it comes to salads, I will... Honestly, a little bit of vinegar on my salads is fine. Like a red wine vinegar or a balsamic vinegar. Like, a little bit of vinegar is fine on a salad, but... Like, actual, like, dressings, I don't like them. They make salads soggy, and I don't like soggy salads. Bop. Bop. I need you. Grab. Reasonably place. Align. Okay. And there we go. It's a piece of wood. So. Oh. Sorry, I'm in kind of a tight space today. I need to grab another board, so give me a second. I have to make some deer tacos! Man, that sounds good. And I'm back from Pile. There's this restaurant near me that serves elk burgers. Ooh, elk burgers. I'm gonna do a YouTube live for the cooking part. Nice. I'm gonna look forward to that live. Granted, also speaking of, well, another fun fact about, like, Kentucky. Kentucky has the largest elk herd east of the Mississippi. Now, how we got that elk herd is kind of a bit of a Debbie Downer story, because, so, after all the strip mining in Appalachia, well, actually all the mountaintop removal mining, they just, like, planted, like, grasslands. And they were like, hey, we got these grasslands where there aren't typically supposed to be grasslands. What's something we can do with them? And someone was like, hey, we can just throw some elk on that. So they threw some elk on that. And now every year the state of Kentucky has an elk hunt. To hunt elk. And apparently we don't hunt enough of them because the population is getting, like, very high up. Need better lighting for my cooking area. Oh, better lighting's easy. You can just, like, you can just hit it with more lights. That's kind of sort of my strategy. Lighting issues? Just throw more light at the problem. Oh wait, why did I put my pencil there? Now, one of the fun things about actually doing this with cedar is I think the wall's just gonna look a lot better because it's gonna have, like, this fun, like, grain patterns and such, versus, like, standard YouTubers have just, like, boring Baltic birch for their wall systems. Doogie's gonna have good old cedar for his wall system, which is gonna look like it's gonna look really pretty when it's done, though. Granted, I lose this color as things get exposed to UV radiation. And there we go. Okay. Did I want 5 of these? Oh, that's why I want. Ah, that's why I wanted more. Because I was thinking, it was like, wait, I only want 4, and then it's like, wait a second. Yeah, because I want to do. I actually didn't need to make that cut, but that's fine. Oh, man. Because, so, I'm only going to be doing, like, 4 slats for the actual wall portions of both of these walls. Because the plywood sections of the walls are just going to be, like, 4 feet. And that'll give me, like, roughly a cleat per wall. Well, a cleat per foot of vertical wall space. Which I personally think might be a little bit overkill, but, you know. So, you... Down! Defeated! Yeah. And with all that, I grab some water. Ah. Woohoo! So, we got the circular saw work done, which is a yippee. But now, we gotta turn to this bad boy. We gotta do work here. Where's the beer? So, since we're going to be doing table saw time, this isn't an A beer, so there's no alcohol, but we're doing the Shoots Black Brute non-alcoholic, I think porter or stout? Porter or stout? Non-alcoholic Black Brute, malt, deliver. Damn it, well, you should at least be like, power tools and beer, goodness. Cheers, brother. So, one of the fun things about what we're doing here today is for these cuts, we're putting a bevel. And some people are probably like, so I'm going to need this to be a fair bit taller in my workpiece. How do you work it? That. There we go. Surface not moving, very important. There we go. I've got that release. Let me grab very magic tool. Magic tool! There we go. So this is my digital angle finder. Oh wait, it goes on this side? Oh, I actually like that. Okay. Ooh, real close. And there we go. Does it see that? Oh no, if I tilt it, Oh yeah, that's our 45 degree. Okay, so this is actually going to work out a little bit better than I thought, because when I was first setting up for today, I was thinking this tilted the other direction, and I was like, ooh, I don't like the idea of this tilting in the other direction. But for today, I am very okay with it going in that direction, because that means the cutoff is going that way. I was cutting off some nails on a roof beam while drunk, slipped, and the grinder cut in my arm. Fascinating scar. Fascinating scar. Reasonably good story. Terrible safety practice. Not being a good example for people, Mr. Spock. Okay. So. I want roughly 2 inches of wood on this side of the world. So, I've got my fence anchored, and I have an upgrade for this thing I bought literally today, and that is a featherboard. That's why I'm telling it to learn. Ah, good to hear. Good to hear. But yeah, so far only an A beer. So, oh yeah, I like that actually. So that provides nice stiff pressure to keep our workpiece against the fence. So that way when we use our push stick, I can have push stick here and here, away from blade. So the reason I'm just doing a scrap right now is I want to see where my kerf falls along the cross of here. So that way I can tell whether or not I have all this set up how I want. Really like to get stoned and ride my bike. Oh man, don't be talking about good times. So, our board only came up. We have a very short amount of distance. Did you realize you were drunk? I had barely an inch, so I need a lot more. I need this to shift this way. So, first off, we're going to loosen the featherboard. Knock the featherboard over. So, I was at a little bit less than 4 inches there. So, I'm going to bring that to E. And then 3 by measuring here. It was safer because I didn't do stupid stuff. So I'm going to bring my scrap. Reset the featherboard. Oh yeah. Putting some pressure, keeping it from wiggling. Grab push stick. And now, that's a lot closer to what I want. So, I used this piece of scrap to dial in my saw. So, saw's dialed in. We're good on that front. This is also a reason why I actually do keep a certain amount of scraps. So, since I do have some like larger boards today, we're gonna start off with shorter ones. We're gonna rip these through, see what we get, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah, what's the best part so you don't freak out? Oh wait. This board's a different thickness. Like, how bad is it? Because that's like 6. Ah, yeah. Okay. So, I just gotta readjust the featherboard. I don't know about you, but I find power tools kind of comforting. Yes. Put that there. The board in, just here, just the. Yeah, a little bit of nice friction there. Okay. Let's do our first proper whip. And there we go. So, how the French cleat wall system works is... We'll have this part here. Let me grab a piece of wood. So... Get this over here. So, say this is your wall, then you have this as a rail, and then this piece fits in like that, and that's how it's held. So it's just a gravity fit. And that's kind of like how this works. Yeah. Gotta find room to store all the things. Well, got a couple more boards where that came from, so just keep on keeping on. I'm gonna back. Making sure my featherboard is applying pressure to my workpiece. And there we go. I was trying to start my 50 years old motorcycle while drunk once. I put my motorcycle boost on for safety. Forgot the Kickstarter was out and got my calf cut. Oh gosh. So he healed up. No problem. Okay, good to hear that it healed up. So in this case, for this board, we have a gap in our feather board. So get this up to there. Press tight to get the fence. Feather board in. Cut was 2 inches above the boot. Ooh. Oh, feels good. Good pressure. And there we go. Ooh, yeah. That's cool, because that's actually going to be the outside. Oh, I thought his blood's not good. It's getting my boot dirty. Oh, man, that's a Sugi thought right there. Like, oh, no. I'm getting blood everywhere. I'm going to have to clean this up afterwards. Okay, I think I can tighten this up. Good. Woo! Granted, I will say, one of the best things about playing with cedar like this, shop just reeks of cedar right now. Reeks of cedar. Awesome looking wood. Oh man, I really like how cedar just looks. Like it's very pretty. Oh gosh. Like here's a scrap from a earlier project, and like with all the knots and all the swirling of the grains, and also it's pink. It's like a pink purple wood. And it lasts forever. Yeah. Especially in outdoor applications. Like it's a long lasting wood, it's great. So, we've done the short sections. We've done 4 short sections. Now, we transition to the long sections. These are a little bit more than 5 feet. They're going to be, since they're bigger boards, they're going to be a little bit more tricky, but that's also why I started out with the 2-footers, because the 2-footers were the warm-up. Because I don't have a whole lot of support here for those boards, and most of my support's there. So, these are going to just be a hair bit more tricky for me, but with safety technology like the featherboard, which is new to me, I literally bought this today. I actually, this morning I went to an estate sale, and this was one of my big finds from that estate sale, was this featherboard, because I actually really needed one. I also bought another featherboard thing. Can I reach it? Yes. So, I also have this featherboard. Cool thing about this one, it fits in T-track, like so, and you can set it up like this. So, pretty nice big safety improvements. I mean, this guy's really great, but this guy does not have the room. And I think I can actually take the sides of this guy off if I want to, but I just don't want to put I don't want to put effort into doing that, so. Ooh, I'm gonna have a sip of beverage. I'm gonna grab a big piece of wood. Hello, big piece of wood. Oh. Okay. It's kind of tight. I'm gonna want to loosen the featherboard up a bit. Because I have slightly different widths on these cedar boards. Okay. I have some wood from a swing set, yeah! Made some pegs out of it, and after years in the ground, they have not rotted. It's bizarre. So, a lot of the swing sets are actually made out of cedar. For people who want to get their hands on some, like, cheap cedar, go to, like, Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and look for people who are looking to get rid of swing sets. Because sometimes you'll find, like, listings for free swing set if you remove it. So all you have to do is just show up with some tools, and you can break down the swing set, and then that way you can use those leftover materials for your own cedar projects. And that's how you can get, like, nice big chunks of cedar for your own projects, which that is something I picked up thanks to the internet. So, featherboard set up. Let's do this. Definitely a little bit more tricky. Which, actually, yeah, I can just park that guy. I took them out after 5+ years and no rot. Yep. Yep. Good old swing sets. Good source of cedar. Because not everyone has a lumber mill an hours from their house that specializes in just cedar. So that's the first one of 4. So let's get through the other ones. So once again, my widths are inconsistent. But it seems fine on the featherboard, so I'm not going to worry about adjusting that. Are you in heaven, Sugi? A good wood supply? Oh, Sugi loves a good wood supply. Also, just Sugi likes working with wood. This is what makes me happy. Granted, it makes me a little bit ashamed if I'm being perfectly honest. I'd certainly be less motivated to actually do this if I didn't do streaming, because like a lot of people, it's way too easy to get caught up in like whatever various other entertainments that you're into, whether it be like books, music, anime, movies, TV shows, all those things. So really one of the nice things about streaming has been like it's like I have to budget time to do this and then actually do the thing. It's been very much one of the big pluses of doing this, even though there's times like right today where it's like, we're being a little bit yabag, but you know what? My shop smells incredible. Absolutely incredible. Just 4 inappropriate jokes, Mr. Spock? Just 4 inappropriate jokes? Are you not feeling good today? Are you having a bad day? Because I know you're better than that. When was the movie Grey Dawn in the Land of Yik Yak? Dearie, what are we gonna do with you? Okay, so this board's thinner. So I'm gonna have to bring my feather board in. Here. And just a hair. Test again. So those last two feathers of the feather board are putting pressure. Here we go. So, got even pressure now. I can now make the cut on this board. I got real lucky there. That board almost went out of not being able to be reach distance. So those are the boards that are going to be part of the actual like French cleat wall thing. However, though, because this is going to be basically a 5.5 foot wall assembly, it's going to be very heavy. So I'm going to be using cleats that hang it on the wall. So I got to cut two more of those, and then we'll be done with this fun stuff. Let's grab our next board. Here. And there we go. Oh boy, we're filling the shop with dust. But we got one more. Oh, there you go. Just one more board. So, featherboard is good for this board. Let's complete this cut safely and be done with Table Saw Coon. Wait! Much as I love Table Saw Coon. Oh boy, do they make a terrible amount of sawdust. Oh, Coon's used for tools because it means like younger coworker. Yeah, well, or also like a term for endearment is kind of how I use Coon. And then disconnecting power. Things are safe now. Well, safer. Oh. Woo! Whew. And lock you. Starting position and drop that blade. Apparently the Yakuza got their own set of honorifics. Nice. Tight. Woo! Man, nice. Okay. So we've got ourselves a whole bunch of cedar cut. Now's the time when we actually get to start thinking about actually building a thing. But before we actually get into building a thing, I gotta use the little homesteader's room. So I'm gonna throw on the BRB screen and I'll be back here in a few. Okay, I'm back. So, the game plan for today is I got these cut. I'm not going to attach them to sheets of plywood because I really don't want to be throwing around sheets of plywood because sheets of plywood are very heavy and I don't like doing that. So, we're going to actually start working on our first mini project, and that's going to be kind of one of the fun things with building this organization system is there's going to be a whole bunch of mini projects involved. And the first one is going to involve these guys. Chisels. So, this is my set of Harbor Freight chisels. And they've been living in this plastic container with their guards the entire time I've been having them. And it would be really nice if I could take these guys and store them somewhere. And that's what I want to do today. Is I want to make a place to store them. So, I'm going to need a piece of wood at least 8 inches. I actually have scraps here, so that's short. Okay, so those scraps were short. Those scraps are going to be short. What? Oh, you're one of my 2-footers for some reason. Oh yeah. I can just use you. I don't want to use this one though. Find a different one. Oh, that's bad. So, what I want to do is I want to get my hands on the first piece of material that is going to be used to hold these guys. So that piece of material is going to essentially be where we're going to drill holes, because how this is going to work is there are going to be holes in this. And chisels are going to live in there like this. And I grab the handle and I now have chisel. So, I'm going to need this to be at least the edge to edge width on this. So, now funny enough, I think I will be using table saw coon for these cuts, simply because it'll be quick and easy. So, I don't want that tape measure. Can I get a second tape measure? Yes, I can. If I go to my cooler. I set it on my cooler. Okay. So this is one of the scrap pieces from the tool shed build. And that's actually one of the big things I'm wanting to do. Is actually use up a lot of pieces from that build. And because I need like 8 inches of material here, a little bit of material there, makes it very scrap project. Makes this very scrap project friendly. And what's probably going to be happening over, say, the next couple of weeks here is we're going to be working on building quite a few of these projects. So I'm going to use my miter gauge for this. Let's bring our blade height up. That looks good. Set this roughly there. And eyeball it. Yeah. Now, I get to restore power. So, power's restored. Oh. Everything feels pretty good. Do it. And now you see why I said that it would be so quick and easy to do it. The table saw. Table saw just makes cuts happen very quickly and easily. Now, I don't necessarily need the full width of this material. Pull the chisel, because our chisel holes are going to go in here like this. So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to take this piece. Reference sides, I got good reference sides, and basically I'm going to rip this in half. Now, at this point, we're getting to the point where our material's a little bit on the thin side, so definitely going to have to use a little bit of extra caution, but I feel reasonably good. And there we go. We now have not just one blink, but we also have two blinks. So, woo. Oh gosh, the shop has gotten like very, very dusty, but I feel very confident at this point saying we're done with the table saw, which is good and reassuring. Because one, table saw kicks up a lot of dust, and two, table saw is also probably my most you-buy tool of the numerous you-buy tools I have, so I think we'll go with this guy for now for this project. And so I am now faced with how do I want to do this? I gotta move lumber because I need to move because I want to move this table saw. And I currently have these pieces of lumber just kind of chillaxing here. And I need to fix that. Cool, they're no longer chillaxing there. That can live there. Yeet. Kind of. Fortunately, I still have a raised garden bed in my shop, so only so much room. But no tool interface. Very fun tool. That is good old drill press goon. Yeah, that looks reasonable. Okay. Oh. So, let me get my chisels. Because I'm wanting to use this plastic as sort of a template for what I wish to do. So, by lining this up, that there, let me grab, oh! Did I? Ah. I did that kill? No, that did not kill stream. Oh, but that did concern me because it did kill my monitors. That briefly concerned me. Because I've got a power strip that all my monitors are plugged into. And the cord for that power strip, I bumped it. And all my monitors went black. And I was like, wait, did I lose stream? Please tell me I didn't kill a stream again because of... I accidentally fiddled with a power that I should not have fiddled with. But thankfully that wasn't the case. So, since I'm now down to just spinny machine, I can have beer now. Like actual, full alcoholic beer. So, I'm going to be having myself some Spotted Cow. I really like my Spotted Cow. Really good Wisconsin beer. I wish they sold it here, but can't get that lucky. So, what I was reaching for earlier was my awe. So, this is my awe. I've got my setup here. I was going to see how you said it and secretly judge you. I mean, by all means, judge me. But you just said... Is it full? Oh wait, the whole Wisconsin joke, which I presume that's what you're talking about. Which, I mean, hey, jokes I will make. So, essentially, what I'm doing, I'm finding the center for everywhere I want to make a hole. While using the plastic as a template to set where my the distance between my holes. So, you can see some of our holes are a little bit further apart than some of the other holes. So, I just wanted to have that taken care of, so that way didn't get anything. So that's going to be all those. So I'm going to have a line of holes running this way. This side is going to eventually get mounted to a thing that gets... Say it like you're in a shonen or a shoujo. Oh no. Okay. So, let's see. I need to grab some bits. I think I will do these with my Forstner bits. So, I'm actually going to be making 2 holes. One hole is going to be for the shaft of the chisels, which I think is pretty much the same. Very close. Let me grab tape measure. It's about 1/4 inch for my smallest chisel. Larger is closer to 3/8. If I go half, I get wiggle room. So I'm very tempted to go with half. Because if I go half, I get a little bit of wiggle room. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So. Also, another thing is, I haven't used this thing enough. The drill press, I mean. And really want to use it more because I love this thing. This is like my first like big fancy tool, and also it's a big fancy tool with a variable speed drive. So really, really, really fun. Now, I also have a lot of travel here. So let's see, how does this work? Hey, clamp. Set clamp off to the side. I actually gotta raise this bit. Okay. I only have so many. Wait, I thought that was... Oh, there it is. Woo! Sugi's not super smart, but he's kind of smart. Wow. I think that's pretty close. Now I just gotta get this to tighten up. If I can remember how to tighten it up. Unfortunately, the problem is I have to remember which directions does things spin in, and I am terrible at remembering directions spinning in. He talks in third person and breaks the fourth wall. Well, yes, because I'm a weirdo. I'm a very weird. I'm a VTuber. I'm reasonably allowed to be weird. And also, good evening to Head's Old Shop. How are the spiders treating you? Their cobwebs are gone. And I'm thankful that the spider cobwebs are gone. Now, I need to check the... What's my speed settings? Oh, here we go. With Pulsner bits. So, softwood, I want 2,000 RPM. According to the magic chart. So, I want 2,000 RPM. Got holes marked. I'm gonna press a button. Okay. So let's ramp this up. I don't know you had to use a chart. Well, yeah, you gotta use a chart, man. So we're working with a 1/2 inch Fosner bit. This shouldn't do anything too crazy, so... Woo! However, though, Cedar loves splitting. So, since Cedar loves to split, there's a very easy solution. Just use a backing material. So, this is going to be a little bit more of the setup, and since this is a little bit more of the setup, and also since I don't like my camera angle right now, then we'll just tighten that up. Did you know you have... Do you have to use drill oil with wood? Like metal, you have to use drill oil, but wood, I don't think you have to use drill oil. Like, wood, you should just be fine. I mean, cedar smokes a lot. Like, it smokes when I'm... No, but I got to... but I got you to... So that's a W. Okay. Apparently, I can't remember how things spin. I think that's the true things that people should be making fun of this streamer for right now is this streamer does not know how to make things spin. But I figured it out, though. There we go. Then, also, I'm going to play with this. And there we go. I think that looks a little bit better. So we'll just line up our next hole. And then on our second hole, we got no chip out. Right, we were also falling right on top of that knot. Sure. Let's just keep on keeping on. Woohoo! Oh, so close. Did you ever get into Flash games? I did a little bit of playing Flash games as a very wee lad. Well, like high school era. I didn't play too many though. Shucks, like I remember Newgrounds. Because I remember Newgrounds. I remember playing. Honestly, I think I mostly did like a lot of watching of Flash animations as a young Sugi. But that's like the extent of my memories and experience with that. Yeah, that checks out. I'm a little bummed everything is on the App Store nowadays. Nobody's doing it just for the Nobody's just doing it for the funsies anymore. Man, like the things we could do for just the funsies. Like, back in the mid-aughts. Mid-late aughts. I mean, granted, my biggest like old man boomer rant, well, I want to shake my fist about is the loss of forums and how we don't have forums anymore, and now everything is just Discord servers. As far as like online communities and such are, and it's like the thing is, you can search a forum. If I want to search a currently updating body of knowledge, I gotta go to Reddit. And I'm not exactly super into Reddit. I mean, it's certainly fine, but it's not my first choice. It's not a first choice for Sugi. Forums plus losing Radio Shack have been some of the great things that have been lost in my era. Woohoo! Woohoo! Bit was getting really hot. Oh yeah. The side, like the inner sides of the that were getting burnt, but hey, you know what? Ever since we got a backing plate, we stopped getting chip out like we did on the first one. So nice. Radio Shack was nice, yeah. You could just buy one of something. Yeah, you could just buy one of something, or you could like, if you wanted like some sort of like electronic part. I'm sure oil wouldn't hurt. I think with cedar, I might turn down the speed. Like, the charts, because the chart says I can go 2,000, but half inch is also the upper part of the range. So, granted, I might also try using some oil. I actually have a special thing I bought for that. But we're now at the point where we gotta change bits out. Okay. It's kind of warm, but it's not ultra hot, thankfully. So I now gotta figure out the size for the next bit, so what the first hole's for is the smallest bit of the shaft, but I want these to rest on these bearings a little, these collars, and that's looking like a 3/4. And the fun thing with what we got here is I just need to bring these holes out like a little bit. So let me find a 3/4, and I might want to go 7/8. You know what? I want to do 7/8. Let's see. How do I feel about that? Oh yeah. A lot more confident with the 7/8. Now, this is also part. Now that I'm thinking about it, I technically should have started with the 7/8 and then drilled my through holes. Because the thing is with the Fostner bit is you have the tip, which centers it, and then the sides cut out the rest. Well, I kind of did things in the wrong order, but I at least have laser guides to kind of help guide my center. So that will help, but I did technically do things out of the wrong order, but I mean, what else is new there? So, oh yeah, I'm also going to have to change speeds because we went up a bit. Because for these size Fostner bits, I want like 1500. So we're going to slow this down. Okay. It's confetti! Oh man. Never thought I would get into the manufacture of my own confetti. But yeah, that's literally what I want. Is I just want like a little bit extra more hole. So we now just go down our thing and make our holes a little bit bigger. Okay, that's a little bit too much confetti on my bit. A little bit concerned about the confetti there. And you can see I'm doing this with no degree of scientific accuracy, but scientists are for scientists, Sugi is for Sugi. Man. I sure wish I knew someone who had gerbils, otherwise I could, like, load them up with some nice, like, bedding. But alas, I know no such people. And bada banga. Oh. Got our through holes, we got our recess holes. We got ourselves a whole bunch of holes. So, we now got options here. And I'm gonna figure out which option I want. Because the next step is to cut slots down to the hole, so that way I can actually, like, fit my chisels in. Granted, I might be able to fit. Yeah. But that's what it's gonna sort of be like at the end, but I need to cut a slot so I can just park them there. So I need to cut those slots, and now I have options for that. One option is actually table saw. If I wanted to be a speedy McSpeedster, I think that's the fastest option. But I am thinking, honestly, I might do the pull saw. So let's set this out. sucks. I just don't know where I want to do this. Granted, once again, thank you very much, Drill Press. I do not use my drill press enough. That is definitely an absolute truth, as I do not use my drill press enough. I need to use it more often, but that's also, once again, another point of this project. So, can I get this table to come to me? Come to me, table. Oh, don't get spooky with me, buddy. For I have a desire, and this is my desire. This is the carpenter's vase. But yeah. So, let me grab a tool. Tool has been grabbed. So, got my good old handsaw. I probably have abused too much, and I'm getting... I imagine I'm getting close to the point where I should think about replacement. But you know what? I just bought a replacement phone this past week, so okay. I think that go all the way through? Yeah, it felt like it went all the way through. Remember, folks, take your beer breaks. You gotta drink your beer. Get all your nutrients. Something, something, Wisconsin. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and crack open beer number 2. Well, yeah, beer number 2 for today's stream. So this is Indeed's company's pistachio cream ale. It is a cream ale with essence of pistachio that has... and I know when did I show this off? The Stardew stream? Or the Kolsch? No, probably Kolsch stream. But yeah, like, I just love the art and all the wild pistachio boys. Pretty good beer too. Cheers. Oh, it's in the way of where the saw's gonna go. Woohoo! Now, time for a test. So essentially... yeah. So that'll hold that nice and well. It's not that danger of falling, slipping out, and then to grab it, you just grab it, and then... But I think I can make that gap smaller, though. Depending on the... Granted, it's going to depend a little bit on the actual tang of the chisel. But I think something like this will be more than sufficient. That's rip cutting. You need cross-cutting teeth. Beer. Okay. Oh man, look at these guys. Funny shape. Granted, it is actually a lot of fun to think I can actually make like more complex shapes out of wood versus like, oh, let's make this long rectangle square, or make long rectangle less rectangular. Like, last. There we go. And with that, oh man, I should have. I mean, so the funny thing is, I was leaning to the side when I made the cut. Did I tell you about the cute Asian chick from Woodshop? No, you didn't. But you had a cute Asian chick in Woodshop? I mean, that's cool. I mean, honestly, it's just like... Honestly, I'm at the... Like, I like it when people get in the woodshop. Especially people you don't think would be in the woodshop. Now let me grab some chisels, because I want to test those. So, just grabbed a handful of chisels. We've already tested smallest chisel. This is Big Bad Boy. Well, Big Bad Coon. So, they're gonna go in there. So, it's not easy. There's resistance. So, I just need to widen their hole. But they've slid really nicely into that. It's gonna be the hole for that. Okay, so that hole needs to be made wider. This needs to be made wider. And I need to make them wider too. So that's for those two. Check out our last tool. Okay. You fit nicely. Could probably done a better job of spacing the holes out a little bit more. She was so dumbfounded. She was a pain in my arse the entire day. Expected me to just do what she said. Oh no. Oh no. Not those types of peoples. I don't like those types of peoples. That's like ultra pain in the butt types of peoples. We don't appreciate that around here, man. Like if you want to come to woodshop with an open mind, by all means, like, all should be welcomed here. But and it felt pretty good throwing your stuff away. But yeah, like, don't bring a bad attitude to woodshop. Don't. I mean, really, a lot of things in life. It's like, don't bring a bad attitude to it. Brewing beer, don't bring a bad attitude to beer. Like, it's beer. It's canned liquid happiness. Next class, she struck drill bits into wood glue and blamed me for it. Ooh. Yeah, that is very not cool. That is ultra not cool. Ooh. Man, I forgot how quick those... The teacher thankfully had more than 2 brain cells. Okay, so I need to worry about this one next. Aggressive. Tone it down. There we go. That's that taken care of. Now let's see if the 1.5-inch chisel will fit. So I think the center hole actually should technically be made bigger, but chisel goes in, chisel rests. It's just this chisel does not sink all the way down, which admittedly is fine. That's fine. Like, generally speaking, it fits. So, yep. So that's half. Well, no, that's inch. This is 1.25 inch. Ah, look at them. Ow. You did face reveal, by the way. I mean, that's pretty much par for the course for me, honestly. I've kind of done plenty of those, especially when the camera is like up higher like it is now. Oh wait. Okay, so everything else is. There's a little bit of resistance with the hat. Yeah, because it's just a... Not sure how much I want to do about that. But you know what? They fit. They fit, and the thing works. And even if thing doesn't necessarily... Well, even... So even if this is not perfect, it doesn't look super great. Still works. Holds chisels. Now, I think I might have to do a little bit more work on maybe making the holes a little bit bigger. But as far as just something having fun with, this has been some good having fun. Now, this isn't complete. I have to cut, because this is just one part. This is the shelf part of the thing. I gotta do another thing. What's the length? this material. This is the cleat, so I'm gonna have to cut off a section of this material. Because I'm gonna have to cut off a section of this, and then once I attach this to the cleat, then I'm actually like, I've actually gotten like this part of the project done. So I just use this as a template to find my line, and you know what? Bum kiss. We'll bring things down here. Bring things to a lower level. Now, I have to support this while I do a cut. Because if I try to cut it like this, here, nothing supported. Entirely. Damn, how do I wish to do this? Because technically, we go to the table saw. Technically, we go here. Is the way to do it. Do I want to do this quick or easy? I mean, I've already got the handsaw out. Done. And thank you for coming on out workbench, but I need you to go back. So what we do here is table saw supports the piece. My free piece is in free floating form. And since this is really thin stock, this is actually pretty easy to just do a cut on. Assuming I can keep the piece like still. Man. Nothing graceful about that, but it is what it is. Woo! So, got ourselves a piece cut off. I'm actually this guy. So, our cleat, so for this to get into our wall, needs to be like this. This just needs to get attached like this. I think that's how it works. I think that's how the geometry of the thing works, but I do have a woodworking magazine. Ah. Oh, wait, yes. So the 45-degree angle faces out towards me. Okay. Cool. Drill 2 holes, get 2 screws in, and that's a mini project done. Going forward, there's probably going to be a fair amount of these mini projects. Let's see. What's the do I want to do inch and quarter? I mean, inch and quarter should be fine. These are just chisels. They're not heavy. Let me just see how... Oh yeah, that's the issue, is that this isn't exactly 3/4 material. I want to go a little... I want some extra screw. I want some extra screw, so I'm going to go up to 1.5 inches. I have to bury it a bit. Get a good... Honestly, we'll just do the 1.5 inches and see how we do. So, we'll see what this does for us. So that's it I want. You two can go there. Got that. So the fun thing with this is I can just basically YOLO my screw holes. Yes. Then we'll do... Where is you? Are you my correct bit? Got first try. Not every day, but some days I win. Okay. So I'm feeling for the screw coming through the back. There it is. So I got just a hair of that screw coming through. There we go. So now that I got my 2 screws. Oh. This is gonna set in... Oh. Okay, GoPro got weird. So this is gonna be what sets on the cleat in the wall. And then this is gonna go into that. Then my big goal... Just... line everything up and make it look level. Which for today is just going to be a lot of fidgeting and eyeballing. That's 1. For 2. Ah. So those 2 screws are now flush with the back. And it's reasonably level. And on the wall system, I would just get slipped in and then I can fill it with my chisels. And that's a mini project done. Which that was kind of like the big goal for today. I was being a little bit debating on how much I wanted to... how far I wanted to go in terms of the build. Whether or not I actually wanted to like build structure, and I decided against that for various reasons, because building structure is more you buy than what I've been doing so far, so I'm just trying to keep it simple, keep it relaxing. Keeping it to the point where I'm having a good day, which, gotta say, pretty good day. It's not as fancy looking, as cool looking as some other people on the YouTubes have made, but you know what? I made this, and eventually, so at some point during this upcoming week, I will install the cleats on my walls, on my pieces of plywood, get those installed, get those hung, and then for what's basically going to be for the next little while is I'm planning on working on filling out the French cleat wall system, and that's going to be a lot of it is going to be doing small builds like this, but it will probably be like, if I end up doing like builds like this, it will probably be multiple builds per stream. But we'll just work through things as I have things to work on, and we'll just kind of like try to work through everything and get everything done. So, but yeah, so this has been pretty chill, pretty relaxing day. Pretty good day just to kick up sawdust, and yeah, so I've been on call this past week, so with this done, I'm going to be calling it for tonight, because I still am technically on call tomorrow. Depending on how squirrely I am, I might work on the wall. Honestly, I'd probably be perfectly honest. I'm probably not going to work on the wall any further tonight, just because after stream, I'm probably just going to focus on cleaning up. And yeah, just focus on cleaning up and getting ready to bed and making sure I get a good night's rest. So I would like to say thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in today. And this has been Sugi Yamagawa. May you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And hopefully I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye. Good night, Goober. Enjoy the beer. Always. And you, Haggle, go enjoy yourself some beer.